Good evening, people. I know I'm late today, but how are you doing this Friday? I hope you had a great day one of the Bitcoin Miami Conference 2021. I'm in Southern California, so I had to watch it streaming on YouTube. So I hope you guys did the same. All right, tons of news of what happened today, lots of that and more. So let's just roll the intro and dive right on in. Boom, boom. Love that intro. So yeah, we're gonna start off with the mayor of Miami. He opened up the Bitcoin conference. Let's see what he has to say. The Miami mayor opening Bitcoin 2021, the days of currency tethered to a central bank coming to an end. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez had his opening speech at the Bitcoin 2021 conference saying that the days of currency tethered to a central bank are coming to an end. Bitcoin 2021, the biggest BTC-oriented conference so far, is taking place in Miami right now. Opening the event was somewhat expectedly the mayor of the city, Francis Suarez. Look at him. Woo! The Mayor Suarez spoke highly of Bitcoin and the entire movement of the cryptocurrency. He even compared them to what Miami is trying to achieve in becoming a technology hub. He said that many believe the current inflow of people into the city is mainly due to COVID, and that once the pandemic is true, they'll go back home. To this, he compared Bitcoin and all the people who are saying that it will fail and that it is an unsuccessful financial experiment. He urged people to stop paying attention to the current volatility, reminding everyone that Bitcoin's price is well in the green since the beginning of the year. Suarez also said that the clash between proof of work and proof of stake will ultimately come to an end, while also asserting that the US will be a powerhouse. Whoa, 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 what's going on? I'm seeing on here that I'm not sharing. What? Let's see, what if we remove it, and then what if we stop sharing, and then we share again, share screen, window, boom. And are we still not sharing? What's going on? Oh, there we go. Ha 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 ha. So yeah, sorry about that, people. Lucky I looked down. It wasn't so bad. We're at the what mark? I do not know. 2-minute mark, so not so bad. Okay, let's continue on with the article. Yep, so Suarez talked about it, saying, ultimately the mayor also said that the days of currency tethered to a central bank are coming to an end. Closing his speech, Francis Suarez reminded everyone that it is now time to buy the dip. So yeah, woohoo, let's go Mayor Suarez. I can't wait to move to Florida. Alrighty, let's move on to our next article. Glad everything's working again. Next up, Bitcoin 2021 convention focusing on adoption, not the price. So true. This was a great first day when I was listening all day at my daytime job, which I do start in 6 hours. Yay! Old timers like Dan held Remember the first Bitcoin convention in San Francisco in 2013. About 12 folks showed up. Speaking this morning at Bitcoin 21 in Miami, held now with the conference exchange, Kraken addressed more than 12,000. Early speakers, which included influential players like Held Safieddine, Amis, Parker Lewis, Nick Szabo, and MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor, barely acknowledged Bitcoin's price, recent price struggles, or Elon Musk's off-and-on relationship with the crypto. They instead focused on Bitcoin's growing adoption and what the world with billions on the Bitcoin standard might look like. If I were not a Square or Twitter, I would be working on Bitcoin, says Jack Dorsey, who just now wrapping his remarks in the conference. Whatever I can do, whatever my companies can do to make Bitcoin accessible to everyone, this is what I will do for the rest of my life. Shortly before taking the stage, Dorsey tweeted out his intention for the Square to build a hardware wallet. Jack Dorsey. I'm not sure how many people are going to trust him. Here's his tweet. Square is considering making a hardware wallet for #Bitcoin. If we do it, we would build it entirely in the open from software to hardware design and in collaboration with the community. We want to kick off this thinking the right way by sharing some of our guiding principles. Hey, It's fine. If we do it, we will build it entirely open from software. We want to kick off this thinking the right way by sharing some of our guiding principles. In the thread, Dorsey went on to note that the company aims to build a non-custodial wallet that means users would have to compete control over their wallet keys. I'm not reading this article. I don't even want to read this article to you guys. I'm just showing you what his thing said. But yes, he also caused quite a bit of a disturbance, though. Jack Dorsey defends his decentralized belief during the Bitcoin conference appearance. Look at this bald guy with his beard. Jack Dorsey, you're the king of censorship. Quick takeaway from this article. Square and Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey took the stage at Bitcoin 2021 in Miami on Friday. He discussed his views on Bitcoin and at one point drew heckles from a right-wing activist. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey reiterated his commitment to make Bitcoin the native currency for the internet on Friday. During Bitcoin 2021, Dorsey touted the Bitcoin network as a means of fair economic systems for all people during his fireside chat. Banking the Unbanked, Human Rights Foundation Chief Strategy Officer Alex Gladstein led the conversation. Dorsey is said to be considered whether to add Bitcoin to social media giant Twitter's balance sheet, and his payment firm Square already holds Bitcoin on the balance sheet, while other firms like MicroStrategy have touted Bitcoin as an inflation hedge and store of value for companies. Dorsey said Square integrated crypto payments and holds crypto itself as part of a larger mission to make Bitcoin a widely used means of payment for all. The only reason Square got into Bitcoin was to that end, he said. Dorsey said that he doesn't see central bank digital currency, CBDCs, as a viable solution, given its centralization and lack of privacy. Bitcoin replaces any need for a CBDC, according to Dorsey. The more we and our governments realize that and get in boat, sooner than better off we are, he said. But regulators aren't overly concerned with Bitcoin's bad actor narrative, according to Dorsey. Though some claim that Bitcoin privacy-focused nature makes it a breeding ground for crime, such as repeated comments from Senator Brad Sherman and other lawmakers. Dorsey said Square hasn't heard that line much from its regulators. Square was one of the first companies that was a public company that talked with the Securities and Exchange Commission about Bitcoin. That never came up, he said. At one point during the fire chat, far-right activist, a former congressional candidate, Laura Loomer, interrupted Dorsey by shouting from the crowd, calling Dorsey the king of censorship. It was a great video, people. You should go check it out. And accusing him of inconsistency in his stance towards decentralization in finance, but not in speech. Twitter has moved to suspend the accounts of those views and spreading misinformation or violating other terms of services in its platform, including Loomer. How can you say that this is a currency for everyone in the world when you are the king of censorship? Asked Loomer. Loomer has been banned for her commentary on Twitter, as well as Clubhouse, Facebook, and other major platforms. Dorsey sought to address Loomer's comments by committing to integrating decentralization into his social media efforts and pointed to Twitter's forthcoming decentralized project, Blue Sky. Blue Sky is a team of 5 open source architects creating a decentralized standard for social media. According to Dorsey, though, in 2019, Dorsey said the system wouldn't be ready for many years. Dorsey doubled down on his commitment to see it through. I know you don't believe me. I know you're saying liar, said Dorsey. I'm going to prove it to you, and we can have another conversation later. Part of realizing a decentralized world is building non-custodial infrastructure, according to Dorsey. That's why he announced Square's interest in building non-custodial hardware wallet just minutes before he took the stage. The purpose, he said, was to solicit industry feedback on the design. We don't want to compete with the hardware wallets out there. We just want to take to the next level and get to hundreds more millions of people who have non-custodial solutions, he said. Yeah, so that's Dorsey's say. I'm not going to trust his wallet if it comes out. You know how he really censor, take it away. I'm not trusting him with my money. That's just me. I don't need to look over my back anymore than I need to with keeping my money secure. So yeah, that's just me saying that. But yeah, that's what Dorsey and a bunch of people had to say. Let's move on. Still tons more to cover. Floyd Mayweather, sponsored by Ethereum token, gets booed at Bitcoin conference. Okay, Floyd Mayweather. In brief, Floyd Mayweather appeared at Bitcoin 2021 conference. He didn't talk much about Bitcoin though. Apparently, Floyd Mayweather didn't get the memo that he was speaking at a Bitcoin-only event. Taking the stage on day 1 of the Bitcoin 21 conference in Miami, the boxer downplayed the importance of the world's largest cryptocurrency while repeatedly encouraging audience members to believe in them. themselves rather than in any other crypto token. Mayweather and his team committed Fox Pass by wearing t-shirts for Ethereum Max, a new Ethereum-based token that's sponsoring Mayweather's Sunday fight with Logan Paul. Everybody in the crypto world is competing with one another, whereas I feel like everyone should be able to choose what they want to choose and go with who they want to go with. He said, I believe there's going to be another cryptocurrency just as large as Bitcoin someday, said Mayweather. Couldn't he be referring to Ethereum Max? The response drew boos from a crowd that he greeted with a standing ovation. The undefeated 50-0 fighter defended himself by saying, without no cryptocurrency, I was able to make $1 billion. With or without any cryptocurrency, Floyd Mayweather's going to be okay. He then sidestepped a question from interviewer Tracy Lapiro about athletes taking bonuses and accepting payments in Bitcoin. I would never tell anyone what to do, what to invest in, he said. This is entirely true for reasons beyond his choice of t-shirt sponsors and his new line of NFTs blockchain-based. Tokens that prove ownership over assets, in this case, digital memorabilia. Back in 2018, Mayweather and DJ Khaled were charged with promoting an initial coin offering for Central Tech without disclosing they had been paid to do so. The founder of the project is now serving an 8-year jail sentence. You can call me Floyd Crypto Mayweather from now on in his tweet. Yeah, right. Mayweather settled with the SEC for $614,000 in penalties and disgorgement. He was also banned from promoting securities for 3 years. That ban is still in effect. Our Securities and Exchange Commission, at least under former chairman Jay Clayton, has repeatedly affirmed that Bitcoin is not a security. Mayweather was in no hurry to promote it, barely mentioning BTC in his chat. Bitcoin 2021 conference organizers have made it fairly clear that the conference is supposed to be about, well, Bitcoin. In the lead up to the conference, they posted on Telegram, this is a Bitcoin-only conference. Please stay focused on topic at the event. Save conversations about other protocols and cryptocurrencies for outside the conference. Mayweather may be undefeated in the ring, but he's closer to 0-1 with Bitcoiners. That's right, because they all booed him as he was all saying it was pretty funny. Yes, it was a great day with the 21 convention. Wish I could have been there. Let me take a sip of soda water. Next up, the Winklevoss twins and Tony Hawk donates a Bitcoin hodling water charity. Charity Water will hodl donations until January 2025 in the hopes that Bitcoin's price will appreciate. It's pretty cool. Charity Water will hodl Bitcoin donations at least until January 25. Professional skateboarder Tony Hawk and the Gemini founders Cameron and Taylor Winklevoss are among donors. Charity Water, a non-profit working to bring drinking water to the developing world, has launched a charitable Bitcoin trust. They'll hold donations until at least January 2025. The trust announced today at the Miami Bitcoin conference he has already sourced 15 BTC, just under 550,000 in donations. From Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, skateboarder Tony Hawk, and investor Bill Miller, that's enough to provide about 11,000 people with clean water. Holding donations until 2025 gives Bitcoin a chance to rise, and for the charity to provide more people with clean water, Scott Harrison, CEO of Charity Water, told Decrypt, that gives time to go past another halving around May 2024, and hopefully there will be some significant price increase between now and 2025, he said. The Bitcoin halving occurs every 4 years and constricts the supply of new Bitcoin. It is often associated with a rise in the price of Bitcoin. The trust may well be hodling well into the 2030s. The charity will listen to a lot of smart advisors to inform its decisions, said Harrison. Harrison hopes that Bitcoin raised through the trust will ultimately generate over $1 billion. If it does, that could provide clean water to as many as 20 million people. Of course, if Bitcoin collapses, the charity impact will be severely limited. Since launching in 2006, the New York headquarters charity claims to have raised $550 million from 1 million international donors, providing clean water for 12.7 million people from 29 countries. Charity Water has accepted Bitcoin since 2014 and raised 569 BTC prior to the opening trust, but Charity Water only made $4.4 million from selling that Bitcoin, said Harrison. The amount of Bitcoin only helps about 100,000 people to get clean water. Had we held them, which is where the idea came from, we would have been able to help 600,000 to 900,000 people get clean water, he said, and with that realization, he married the water charity with the principle of hodling. Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, whom Harris said he knew from his pre-charity days as a nightclub promoter in Manhattan, will match the first 50 Bitcoin donated to the trust. Donating the investment in the future of money today is investing in the future of clean, safe drinking water. Years to come, Cameron Winklevoss, who runs cryptocurrency exchange Gemini, along with his twin brother, told Decrypt, skateboarder Tony Hawk has contributed the minimum 1 Bitcoin to join the foundation, the Founding 100, a list of the first 100 major Bitcoin donors. Hawk was the charity's first Bitcoin donor in 2014, Harrison said. The charity sold his 4.8 Bitcoin donation in the same year for a total of $1,435. Oh man, wish he would have held on to that. Other members of Founding 100 include Mike Novogratz of Galaxy Investment Partners, Meltem Demeanors of CoinShares, Barry Silber of Digital Currency Group, and Bitcoin hype man Anthony Pompliano. But those who wish to see their Bitcoin spent on water projects today can still donate to charity as usual. He added, however, for wells to start pumping water, Bitcoin's price must come first. Ooh, alrighty, that is a good long article. Yeah, so way to go. We got some good donations going on. There you have the idea of hodling, understanding where Bitcoin can go in the future. They're hoping 2025 we'll see 2 Bitcoin halvenings. For those of you who don't know what a halvening is, it's where the Bitcoin mining supplies gets cut in half. So I think currently we're at 900 Bitcoin a day. So if that gets cut in half, we are only mining 450 a day. And then by 2024, that gets cut in half again. So, and that as that process so on goes on, Bitcoin's price should increase in time. So yeah, awesome. Let's move on with our next article because there is so much that happened. Let's see. Next up of our speakers was Ron Paul. Bitcoin must be taken seriously in the age of free money. The libertarians slammed the Fed's monetary policy. Free money means they either print or steal it. Miami's Bitcoin conference kicked off today. Ron Paul railed against the Federal Reserve and said it should be scrapped. Bitcoin's better be considered seriously, said the former Texas congressman. The Bitcoin 2021 conferenceman in Miami kicked off today with Libertarian and ex-presidential candidate Ron Paul slamming the Federal Reserve and saying that Bitcoin needs to be considered seriously. Given the current state of the economy and the Fed's monetary policy, the former black sheep of the Republican Party told the Miami crowd that the U.S. current monetary policy is a disaster and that the central bank should be scrapped entirely. Paul made a name for himself during the 2008-2012 U.S. presidential election with calls to end the Fed. Touching on President Joe Biden's $6 trillion budget proposal, which would be the biggest federal spending since World War II, Paul said that the current economic policy can't go on for much longer. The problems are going to get worse, he's told the enthusiastic crowd. There's a lot of free money that's circulating these days, and it's all fake. It's all political corruption that goes in. Free money means that either print it or steal it. Yep, it's all fake money, and that's why I don't touch the stock market, because it is just pumped with fake money, and I don't like that. He added also, if you know anything about me, I've been in politics a couple of years. I have a solution. One of my solutions for foreign policy was when we were in places we shouldn't be in. I said, we just marched in, let's march out. And that's what we should do with the Federal Reserve too. We don't need the Federal Reserve. It's built with corruption. So what we need to do is get rid of it, he said. Paul, a former Republican congressman for Texas, was referring to the U.S. government stimulus package initiated last year to confront the economic effects of lockdown and quarantines as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. The U.S. government has since pledged to spend more, something like the most ardent cryptocurrency enthusiasts think will eventually cause inflation, the downfall of the dollar, and the mass adoption of Bitcoin. Paul, who previously said that Bitcoin should be free from government interference, added that he doesn't know much about the cryptocurrency, but that it could be provided solutions to what he deems is problematic government spending. Government spending is going to work well for Bitcoin, he said. Bitcoin better be considered seriously. The 2021 Bitcoin conference in Miami started today and will run until tomorrow with over 50,000 people expected to attend. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, MicroStrategy co-founder Michael Saylor, and pro skater Tony Hawk are all guest speakers. So yeah, we heard about Jack Dorsey's hard wallet. I don't think anybody should get into it. And we're slowly getting into MicroStrategy. Stay tuned. But yeah, what got me in this conversation right here? Something is going well for Bitcoin, better be considered seriously. Right, so it should be a free market going. He doesn't know much of the crypto. He said something about the printing, something about his eventually downfall. Yeah, so the U.S. government has since pledged to spend more, something that's most ardent cryptocurrency interest, think will eventually cause inflation or the downfall of the U.S. dollar and the mass adoption of Bitcoin. That's so true. And what I could not find an article on was of these two. Senator Cynthia Loomis of Wyoming, very crypto friendly, and Governor, I forgot his name, but mainly she pointed out that like in 3 separate events that Bitcoin will underpin the US dollar in order to keep it alive. So you know she's got to be probably talking with all the big guys up there and how all these are go. So yeah, if you want to follow this article, they're around the last ones and they start around the 6, almost 7 hour mark. So if you want to take a look at this, I highly recommend you listen to it. It's pretty cool because can you picture that? The Bitcoin underpinning the US dollar, almost going back to the old gold standard days where the dollar used to be backed by the gold standard. And yeah, I think that would be some great times. So if you hold on to Bitcoin, then whew, exciting times to come. Alrighty, let's move on. Close wrong. Close that one. And next up, we got Mike Novogratz. Says institutional adoption of DeFi will explode. The Galaxy Investment CEO Mike Novogratz believes institutional adoption of DeFi is on the horizon. Novogratz thinks that volatility and transparency are 2 major reasons institutions haven't embraced crypto just yet. He estimates that only 20% of the global crypto market is owned by institutions. Mike Novogratz has stated that he believes it's only a matter of time before major institutions and players will begin to embrace digital assets. That's pretty common sense from all the news we get every single day. Let's just take a moment and look at this. What is this? Tweet. Someone's taking a bite out of it. So it's like, I don't get what these artworks mean someday. It's just funny. While there are more and more institutions that have adopted digital currencies into their business models, the amount that doesn't is much greater. Novogratz attributes this reticence jumped into the digital currency game to the market volatility, making these institutions nervous about investing. He stated that liquidity in the cryptocurrency world has been motivated by what he refers to as a gigantic community of gamblers all over the world. He even makes the comparison between the market and a casino. Novogratz even believes that when regulatory concerns surrounding digital currencies are taken more seriously, institutions will swarm like moths to porch the light. And what keeps institutions away from crypto? One of the regulatory concerns that are keeping many institutions away from crypto is the lack of transparency about what exactly they are in bed with. Business naturally want to know who they are doing business with and avoid working with what could be considered undesirables. Novogratz uses North Korea, Iran, Hamas, and prime examples of entities most of the world would like to avoid conducting any sort of business with. So that's just some fear, but why would they want to? It's going to solve everything. For institutions to feel safer working in the gray area of crypto, Novogratz believes a know your customer, so a KYC identity verification process should be implemented. The process is already being utilized in places like Thailand, where keep institutions safe from accidentally doing business with entities that could get them in trouble with the government. The moment that gets solved, you're going to see institutional adoption of decentralized finance explode, claims Novogratz. The Galaxy Investment Partners CEO believes that a solution is on the horizon. He points out that he is working on a number of different projects aimed at improving the compliance of verification processes for institutions investing in crypto. He estimates that despite advancements in adoption globally, just 20% of the global crypto market is held by institutions, with the other 80% held by retail investors. All right, so yeah, there we go. Adoption's happening. It's going to explode. After watching day one, I feel adoption's going to come really fast. All right, so there's Mike Novogratz say at the Miami conference. Next up, Miami Pharmacy accepts Bitcoin for COVID tests at conference rolls into town. I just threw this in there because it didn't happen at the conference, but it happened because of the conference, which is still pretty cool. So Progressive Care has announced that it is accepting Bitcoin as payment for COVID tests. The announcement comes amidst Miami's Bitcoin conference. Concerned Schumers from Miami's Bitcoin conference can now pay for rapid COVID-19 tests in Bitcoin. Miami healthcare company Progressive Care, which provides rapid COVID-19 tests to a pharmacy near the ongoing Bitcoin 2021 conference announced that it would accept payment in Bitcoin for COVID-19 tests starting from today. Woo! We believe in the future of blockchain technologies, generally speaking, and we want to extend our market-leading services in a rapid COVID-19 testing solutions. Those who prefer to pay through Bitcoin, said Alan J., Weisberg CEO and chairman of Progressive Care in a statement today. Management notes that the decisions occur on the eve of the largest Bitcoin conference of the world, said Progressive Care. So, yeah, why wouldn't they do it? It's like everyone there holds probably a buttload of cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. So, why not start collecting from these guys? They're there. Get it. Alrighty. So, there's that. Move on to our last three articles. Let's save the best for last of MicroStrategy. But next up, Celsius CEO, Elon is a tourist in crypto. I know, right before the conference, Elon Musk tweeted like the downfall, and then we saw a little dip. But then as the day progressed, it seemed all fine. I think eventually we'll get to a point where when Elon tweets something, no one's even really going to care. Elon's just a rich billionaire with too much free time, even though he runs 2 gigafactories, businesses, or whatnot. But yeah, Celsius CEO Alex Mashinsky sat down live at Miami's Bitcoin 21 conference with Yahoo Finance for a brief discussion on Celsius. Elon and more with a quick question out of the gate around Elon's latest Twitter chatter. Mashinsky didn't hesitate to share his opinion. The crypto tourist. Elon is a tourist in crypto, Mashinsky stated, adding that he's here to collect followers. I don't think he's here to make the world a better place. We can go to where we're going with Elon or without Elon. Bitcoin fell over 5% following the Musk breakup tweet. Earlier in the day, the tweet follows a bearish behavior around Bitcoin from the Tesla CEO. Nearly a month ago, Musk cited that the use of coal was a major concern. Okay, more of that. Yeah, we all know that. We heard that news all day. He's concerned of the carbon footprint. But I'm thinking that's just a setup because he's the greenest guy ever creating batteries. You cause a hype on this, he's going to come in with a solution for all the mining and everything. So it's all in his plan to make money. That's just my opinion. But the Celsius buzz is Celsius is fresh off the news of surpassing 17 billion in assets stored on the platform, as well as hitting a new company high in BTC holdings. The company also recently passed 800,000 retail users in an interview Mashinsky cited. I cannot say his name correctly. The bank's lack of interest rate aggressiveness have been a major factor in Celsius' success. You can 9%, almost 100 times more than what JP Morgan pays you, Mashinsky said, referring many stablecoins, APYs, that are seen in yield-generating markets today. Celsius is a hodler's community, Mashinsky added. As you can see here in all these articles, we see hodler. That's what you should be doing. Buying the dips and just hodling for the next 5-10 years, because if you do that, you will be set. 5-10 years may seem long to you now, but like when it gets there, it's going to breeze by. I'm a 31-year-old man, and time just flying by so fast. Take advantage of these opportunities when you get them. I found it, I studied it, and I'm loving it. So hope you guys do the same. Next up, crypto bulls say hyper-Bitcoinization is 10 years out, or maybe even sooner. The timeline for Bitcoin becoming a unit of account, something used to value goods and services, accelerated based on current fiscal policies, according to the Unchained Capital head of business development, Parker Lewis. Look at that. We got a lion in a spacesuit. Lightning assassin with a lightning network in Bitcoin, I bet. A hyper-Bitcoinized world means the digital asset is regularly used as a transactional currency and held by individuals and businesses as normally as fiat currency. Plan B has predicted an estimate of several halving cycles for when it would become impossible to measure Bitcoin's price in dollars due to its nature as a currency. That's right. Instead of measuring it by Bitcoin's price in dollars, maybe we should do it the other way around. Put the dollars priced by Bitcoin. Bitcoin 2021 in Miami, Bitcoin's mass adoption, known as the hyper-Bitcoinization, may be as close as a decade out, according to some longtime bulls. Savidin Amis, author of the Bitcoin Standard, was joined by Unchained Capital head of business development, Parker Lewis, and Kraken growth lead, Dan Held, during a panel discussion at the Bitcoin 21 conference. Hyper-Bitcoinized world means the digital asset is rarely used as a transactional currency and held by individuals and businesses as normally as fiat currency. Held described the phenomenon as a point where the entire world comes to see Bitcoin's value. The timeline for Bitcoin becoming a unit of account, something used to value goods and services, is accelerated based on current fiscal policies. Lewis said, people will start to understand and appreciate the digital currency as a store of value more and more, he added. I think that based on how Bitcoin has been adopted historically and based on trillions of dollars that the Fed is going to have to print in the coming months, years, that it would potentially be conservative to say that Bitcoin's unit of account in the 10 years, said Lewis. Held sees the fiscal policy and inflation pushing investors and currency users in the same direction. I would say at least a decade for hypercoinization would be the most likely and actually conservative estimate, said Held. If we do have an event where there's a rapid devaluation of fiat currency, Bitcoin starts to surge or gets closer to 1 million per Bitcoin. A super cycle SQ moment, then we could see it much sooner, maybe 6 years or so. But that would be a very unlikely outcome. I don't know, if we keep printing money as we do, it might be there a little bit faster. And if ships keep going down and restaurants go out of business, we don't get any more wood supply, yeah, I think we're going to see a big change very fast. The conservative approach on this just goes on and going why it should be like it's going to go faster. You guys should definitely take a look at this article. It's on the Blockworks Network. Type in hyperbolization in Bitcoin conference. I really want to get to this last article before I hit the hay and go to bed. MicroStrategy Sailor, Bitcoin is an apex achievement of humankind. Putting money into stocks and bonds was no longer serving Sailor. The numbers speak for themselves, he said from the stage at Bitcoin 21. Michael Saylor, my man, was almost ready to retire, he said, but then Bitcoin brought him back in. On the 1-year anniversary of the first Bitcoin purchase, Saylor revealed that Bitcoin is now the only investment he believes in. The pandemic forced Saylor to rethink his views on inflation, which had previously never been a concern for him. Bitcoin 21 Miami, MicroStrategy CEO MicroStrategy was advised to buy Bitcoin back in 2014, but he waited until the mid-2020s before taking a plunge into the asset class. On the 1-year anniversary of his first Bitcoin purchase, Saylor revealed that Bitcoin is now the only investment he believes in. I guess I lost faith in all my traditional investments, Saylor said during a panel discussed at the Bitcoin conference, referring to what made him eventually decide to venture into crypto. Putting money into stocks and bonds was no longer serving him, Saylor said. The numbers speaks for themselves. He was not here by himself. He was also here with Max Kaiser, which was a great duo to listen to. Bitcoin delivers about 200 times higher ROI than assets like Apple and Google, he said. The returns are even larger compared to JP Morgan's, Bank of America, and all the other organizations. The pandemic forced MicroStrategy CEO to rethink his view on inflation, which had previously never been a concern for him. The excessive money printing that started in 2020 and extended into this year made him nervous, he said. Bitcoin provides a store of value and that attracted him to the digital asset. While inflation may have been a concern in the recent sell-off in Bitcoin market and the industry's ongoing battle with the Tesla CEO, Elon Musk did not frighten him at all. In response to the questions over Bitcoin's energy use, he pointed to figure that Bitcoin recycles 20.025% of the world's wasted energy for mining. I think Bitcoin is the most efficient use of energy the human race has come up with, Saylor said. It takes wasted energy and creates prosperity and freedom. And yeah, so that is what he says. So it was a great Bitcoin conference for day one. I am really looking forward to day two. I wonder who's going to be speaking there. I'm not sure who's speaking, but I just know I am going to be enjoying it. As we look down here at the graph, we're going to slowly scroll down in a slower position. Cardano's at $1.75. Dogecoin's still at 38 cents. XRP can't just push that dollar. Chainlink's at 29. Litecoin's at 182, still sticking there when we want to push that 200. Look at that. Theta's moving its way back up at $9.50. Come on, let's hit $10 by tomorrow or Sunday. Filecoin is at $90.13, while Tron is at 7 cents. Aave is at $3.86, and the DAI is at $1. No duh. Alrighty, as always, let's end on the crypto fear degree index. Today, we are back in extreme fear. Yesterday, we moved to fear of a 27, but we're at a 24. So, whoo! That may be a good sign of buying, because when we're in extreme fear, that can be a sign that investors are too worried That could be a great buying opportunity. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction. So, woo, we did it. Bitcoin day one. Yeah. Oh, take those glasses off so there's no glare. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and got some knowledge. Be sure to stay tuned for tomorrow's episode. It might be another late episode. It's my China's birthday, so I got to wish her one. Yep, and yeah, so please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to learn more about the cryptocurrency world. Scan my Patreon QR code up there. If not, I got links all down below. So again, thanks for watching. Stay classy. The Sherpa News Anchor is out.